Hi guys, welcome to our channel, all things Viking, plus a lot of other travel tips too. But I like to keep it where we have a lot of content on Viking. So also welcome all you overthinkers. Those are members and subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, this is a good time to do that. So you can join the community of overthinkers and overplanners. And I just want to make sure that if you've been like staying up at night researching everything about Viking, you're not alone. So anyway, if you have researched something over in the last 24 hours, put in the comments what's something that you have been researching that you've been trying to figure out about Viking cruises. I want to know about it. I'm curious. I know for me, one of the things that I probably searched the most was food and probably excursions. So this video is, like I put in the comments, things that I didn't know and couldn't find information about on excursions. And it's only going to be 5 things because I want to have different videos and there's just so much to talk about that I don't want to spend and I don't want to waste all of y'all's day. So here is just a handful of things that I didn't know and couldn't find online about Viking excursions. So let's get into it. All right. First thing that I could not find and didn't know about excursions. One of the main things is that you actually can make changes to the excursions that you book. So over planners, I just want to give you guys a little travel medicine and let you sleep well tonight, knowing you're not fully committed. I have commitment issues. So I like to plan, but then when I've locked it in, I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, can I change it? Am I making the right decisions? So you can book your excursions and you can make changes. Does everybody feel better? Okay. So I wanted to just say, I didn't know that. I couldn't really find that online. And so that means a lot of different things. So there are included excursions that you can, obviously that come with your trip. If you want to make a change on the time, you absolutely can make a change on the time. Now, the second thing that I wasn't aware of, everyone on Viking Cruises, they pick the early times on excursions. You would think that, like, at least for me. Now, I know with my amazing community, we have all different age ranges and people who are on the channel. So I'm just curious if you guys are like morning, super early people or not, but usually there's like a 9 a.m., there's an 11 a.m. I noticed that I was picking the 11 a.m. excursions and 9 a.m.s were like completely full. So that was one thing that I wasn't aware of, is that those early excursion times, they go really fast. So with the Viking cruises, we've got a demographic where people are getting up early. They want to get their day started. So if there is something you really are interested in and you want to go early, you want to get on that pretty fast. So second point that you can't really find is that 9 a.m. is the top time for people to take the excursions. Okay. Third thing that I found out and couldn't find information on is that the included excursions are not, it's not like mandatory that you stay on the excursion from beginning to end. I know that that's exciting for some people. Let me tell you why. Because if I go back to what I was saying with you guys that are the overthinkers, or if you don't like to be fully committed, what's amazing about booking the included excursion is that if for no other reason besides getting free transportation into the city center or into the area that will connect you with other things you're interested in doing, there is absolutely no obligation to stay with that tour for the entire time. So when you're looking at it and it says 2.5 hours and you're thinking, am I really interested in staying with this group for 2.5 hours? Good news, you're on vacation. You don't have to stay with the group. So you can catch the bus in to the center of the city and simply let your tour guide know, hi, I won't be riding back with you, or I'll just catch one of the buses back in when I choose to come back. What's really nice about that is if you want to get in, if you want to have an hour of listening to a tour guide and then go have lunch or build your own experience, you can, and it's absolutely up to you. So don't worry about, paying for a taxi cab or anything like that. Use the included excursions to get you close to the city center. All right. That was something that obviously don't tell you about. Okay. Number 4, things that I could not figure out or find. How does the food work? If you're on an excursion and it's all day, like what are you're on a cruise, you've already paid $100,000, right? For your Viking cruise, and you see the itinerary and it says that you're going to do this excursion, you're trying to make the choice, it's 6 hours long. How does the food situation work? So one thing that I think is a great idea, if you are open to it, is ask on board if they can make you a sandwich or a little box lunch and you can take it with you on your excursion. I always have a backpack, and it's a great thing to, in the middle of your excursion, there's always going to be time for lunch. They don't necessarily say that, but there is time for lunch during every excursion. Either you can go break away for lunch, you can they usually end right around the time that lunch would start, so you don't really even have to reconnect. Or it will be like for instance, at Olympia and different places, you're kind of having lunch right in the tourist souvenir area, and then you meet at the bus area. So there's always time for lunch. You can bring and ask for a custom lunch on board of the boat, or you can, obviously have lunch at a nice cafe in the city center. So that was something that I didn't really find that was fully explained. Okay, my last tip, because I want to keep this video short, is with the paid excursions. That is something that isn't really fully explained in one area. So it feels like paid excursions are going to be an advanced experience, a better experience. When you hear included and you hear paid, if you're like me, I think, of course, the paid experience is going to be so much better. In my experience, that is not the case. So if you have been trying to decide between the paid excursions and the included excursions, I would simply suggest that you go ahead and just book all of the included excursions. And if there is absolutely something that you really are interested in that's on the paid list, just do a little bit of research, because I know, at least in my experience, 3 of the paid excursions, like at the wine tasting, there was like a cheese tasting, things like that. It just really wasn't worth the money. So I think there's recommendations that I could make, or you could look and just add your own experience, like with Viator or with a local experience versus paying the $180 for for the paid excursions that they offer. So that would just be my tip, is that I would simply look at booking the included excursion, and then getting into the city center and adding on your own wine excursion or your own cheese excursion that you can just simply look at on bookings.com or Viator. So those are my tips on excursions, and I'll probably have a couple more with different things that I want to share that I didn't get to. Happy travels, and don't forget, this is the channel to be first, last, and only in getting everything that you can maximize on your next experience, your next travel experience. Thanks, and if you haven't subscribed, now's your time.